Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting
What?
episode of the Av Files. I'm your host, the one and only Av. Thank you for joining me. And I'm
Yes.
joined once again by my special guest, partner in crime, Daniel, from Arius and the Nation, the Rec Nation,
And
right?
all
All those.
accompanying all the nations. Not really. I'm not part of the First Nation, but
no,
um. But look, thanks for having me, man.
I appreciate you having on it. And then before we go any further, I do apologize. We kind of cut the other one. We got out really quick. I want to make sure that I give my man Max his proper dues. I
Yes.
appreciate him for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you, Max, for joining us in the last episode, and hope to have him back again, which I'm sure
Yep.
he will be. We're gonna have to try. We're gonna try to have those guys jumping in and out, every so often on some of the
Oh, for
episodes
sure.
too, give us another point of view.
For sure.
But if you are enjoying these episodes and you like more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when new episodes drop every whenever we drop them next.
Yeah.
Don't forget to leave us a comment.
We read
Um,
them. We read them.
yeah, we read them. We like it. We like your
Swear to God.
comment.
Swear to God.
Yeah. So I appreciate you guys being here and
Yeah.
enjoy this time.
Yeah.
Um, and also, which I thought um, was interesting because I just found it interesting. I just saw it. There was a there was a 19-year-old employee of Walmart that was found dead in one of their walk-in ovens. Probably
What?
about like a month ago.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like earlier this month. No, earlier last it was yeah, like in October, like towards the end of October, mid October. Yeah.
I mean, part of me is like, we did not check on Walmart and why they have walk-in ovens. That's usually not a good thing. I
Well,
thought. Uh,
so
uh,
it must have been like a big Walmart where they have what do you call it? Like I guess they like do like bakery type stuff like breads and donuts and stuff like that. So grocery stores have walk-in ovens. You have a big huge rack, you put your whatever you're cooking and you just stick the whole rack in there and it just cooks everything all at once. Very easy, very convenient. But yeah, you can a
in,
normal sized
in
person to walk in there, stand up, and obviously get cooked.
insert World War II era joke now.
Yeah, we're not gonna go down that road. But
Jesus,
yeah,
it's weird. The instructions are in German, but
yeah,
golly,
it was weird to me. I mean, it was just a interesting. I saw this article, so it was a little interesting to me. So I had to bring it up. It was a 19-year-old Walmart employee who was found dead in a store's walk-in oven in Canada. She was discovered by her mother, who also worked there.
what?
And according to a community fundraiser for the family, the mother worked at Walmart with her daughter. The teen was identified, and let's see. Yeah, on October 19th, a fateful Saturday night, she was found obviously burned to death in the walk-in oven in a Walmart bakery. They said they were called to Walmart around 9:30 p.m. Found the young woman's body in a large walk-in oven belonging to the store's bakery department. Right, exactly. It was the bakery. Uh, I guess, and I'm looking at this. She was working for Walmart for 2 years.
What?
Um, yeah, that evening
Foul play,
it has
or
to be because it was that evening the mother was tried to find her daughter after not seeing her for over an hour. She asked around, tried to call her, no answer. The mother started panicking, and it was unusual for her to switch her phone off during the day. Imagine the horror that her mother experienced, who herself opened the door. So her mother found her. Oh my gosh.
dude.
It wasn't like somebody else. Her mother
Oh
found
my
her. Oh.
god, bro. Dude, okay. So for those of us that have never worked in, let's say, a bakery department, right? Or have seen a walk-in oven, which is terrifying to me. Are there safety latches? Can it be opened from the inside?
Okay, so this is okay. So I'm assuming that they're the same as like those walk-in freezers, right?
Hmm.
So if you go into a walk-in freezer and somebody closes the door, don't panic. You just there's like a button right there. You just hit that, and the door automatically opens from the inside out. You can't get locked in there unless somebody puts something in front of the door that you can't get out of, right? Authorities said Tuesday that the cause of manner of death have not yet been confirmed, and the investigation is ongoing. I would
Holy
have to
crap.
assume something happened to the girl beforehand, and somebody put her in the oven.
Holy
I
crap.
can't imagine that she was put in the oven
Like
ahead of time.
it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't like, hey, I gotta grab this baguette. Oh shit, I'm about to burn to death.
Right, right. I mean, I'm just reading the report real quick. Yeah, that's what I would have to say. Um,
That's 1,000,000%
that's
foul
my take
play.
on it. You
That's
know,
1,000,000% foul play.
uh,
Because out of all the ways to go out in life, that is not the way.
it's not
Um,
good. No.
no. Wow, dude.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's just a little bit of. I like I said, I found that interesting. I saw it. I was like, man, I had to talk about it real quick. Right. Yeah. So that Walmart, it's in Canada anyway, was closed until further notice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, think about the disinfectant they would have to use on all their air systems, and like how do you clean that? You got to shut down that whole food processing side of Walmart probably indefinitely, dude.
I would imagine. I mean, yeah, you'd. I guess you'd have to like take the whole oven out and throw it away and install a new one. I mean, if I was, I'd want to know who was working at the bakery at that time.
Yeah,
You know, because
fucking
the cameras had to have caught something. There's got to be. I mean, there's cameras in all.
yeah,
Walmart has a billion cameras.
yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so welcome, guys. Welcome to the
Yeah,
App Files.
yeah, yeah. Quick,
This is not what we're talking about. We're not talking about Walmarts and murders at Walmart.
listen. This is a proper part two, right? Proper follow up, and in the vein of follow ups, I've pulled up what I had alluded to last time about that fish. Okay, that fish that was a bad omen. Okay,
Yes, 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 yes.
it's called an oarfish or a standby
Ready for it?
or doomsday fish. And if you
Proper
see the
name.
fish, sailors don't want to see that fish. It is extremely bad luck to see that fish. It's usually found at extreme depths. It's basically a sea serpent at that point. That's what it is. It's pretty much what it is. It grows 30 feet. But we were talking. We hit on the fact that it's like an towards the end of the last episode was like an omen type feeling about it. You see this thing,
It doesn't
Pandora's
give you all fuzzies when you see it.
no, like Pandora's box is about to open. You don't know when or how or why or but it's like, there's their first red flag,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh man, I wouldn't want to see that thing. That thing's probably ugly as fuck.
yeah. Usually things that live at the bottom of the ocean aren't pleasant to look at.
So I mean, I wonder as a fish like that, it doesn't come up to breathe air, obviously, because it's a fucking fish and it lives at
Yeah.
the bottom of the ocean. But when it comes up, do fish naturally like what is that when like if you go up to the air too fast, you get the air bubbles and stuff?
Oh yeah, no. I think they oh my
It's
god.
a natural
They like
thing that they
breathe,
don't have to worry about, right?
they depressurize, you
Right. Yeah,
know.
they don't nothing.
And
They
well,
don't have
because
a special container that they
they
get
have
into.
I don't think they have they don't have lungs to expand and explode, right?
Oh no, that's
Well,
true. Yeah, duh, fish gills, you fucking idiot.
yeah.
You big dumb.
No, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's that. that helps them a lot tremendously.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
helps them a lot.
they don't have to
That
worry
helps
about
them a
that
lot.
one obstacle
Not
in the
yeah,
fucking lungs.
yeah. Not having lungs has helped the fish a lot.
Oh, survive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man. Yeah. Gosh.
Um,
I wonder if they'll explode when they get up here.
the lungs,
No,
I don't
because they
see
don't
how
have
they
fucking
can even
lungs.
fucking do it.
All right. Well, that explains that. No,
Oh man.
yeah, that's a great. Okay, so if the fishermen see it. So wait. So if they see it, they get scared. Like they
Yeah.
don't even touch. They just throw it away. Like they get away from it.
Well, yeah. I mean, at that point, they see it. You're effed. It's
Ugh.
like some bad shit's on its way. Like either tsunami, hurricane, typhoon. I'm pretty sure they call it typhoon in that area of the
Uh,
world. Um, and and yeah, it's just one of those omens. Like I feel like every culture, every society has those things. Um,
yeah. No, everybody has like a bad omen esque type thing, right?
yeah, I mean, look at for the most part, Western culture, a lot of Western
Uh,
culture, like black cats.
right.
You could call them bad omens. At least for those that are superstitious, you could definitely call a cat a black cat a bad
Black
omen.
cat, bad omen. Well, no, that's true. Yeah, because they always say don't let it walk in front of you or some shit
Yeah,
like that, right?
yeah, yeah, or else something bad is going to happen to you, right?
All right.
Isn't that like the superstition? And
Yeah.
that's yeah,
Yeah.
same
Something like
same
that.
same fucking thing,
Okay.
same concept, right? It's like it could happen, could not happen, but it's out there,
What could
So
happen?
so
Okay.
yeah, man.
Um. So anyway, we're back on for part two of weird creatures from the sea. No, I'm just kidding. Now we're
Yeah,
back on part two.
Finding Nemo.
We're still looking. No, but we're part two of Mothman,
Yeah,
of the Mothman. This
correct.
weird creature that roams around Point Pleasant, West Virginia, harbinger of doom, not death, just
Yeah,
doom,
big
impending doom.
difference.
Something's gonna happen.
Big difference. Huge difference.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
like a little bit.
harbinger of death. That's just
Look,
like smallpox.
yeah,
Like that's different. That's different.
you guys got the flu. You'll be okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But okay, yeah, man. Let's do it, man. This Point Pleasant, it has sparked so much like curiosity, and the fact. I mean, you brought it up last time. It's like the Mothman is the reason it's on the map, and I'm like, not the other crazy stuff that's happened there. Like
All the other crap that's happened in this little town have nothing on the Mothman.
it's
Well, I
it
guess at the same time too, like the Mothman,
the
you see
Mothman
it.
is definitely the strangest, but
Yeah,
it's definitely not the worst thing.
definitely not the worst. Nope,
Definitely not the worst thing that's
not
happened
the
in that
worst thing.
town.
Nope.
Like Mothman happening to Point Pleasant is the mildest thing that's probably happened to Point Pleasant.
They probably don't mind the Mothman in Point Pleasant at that point,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's like, hey, is anyone dying? Nah.
No. Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
Like nobody is dying. He's not going out like hopping out from behind somebody's garage and whisking them away into the mountains or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which would be terrifying.
Fuck yeah, it would.
That'd be
That
terrifying.
would raise the level of cryptid in my book. Like right now, Mothman is doesn't even make the face cards of my cryptid deck. Like Mothman is
So he's not like in your top five.
hell no. He doesn't pose a threat. He's a possible bringer of bad luck and
Okay.
bad fortune. He's not posing a immediate threat. Whereas you have shit that's like, you see this, you're probably not going to make it. You know, that kind of thing.
Got
Like
it. No, yeah. I mean,
like we
that
just
makes
checked
sense.
out Wendigo and like the other shit that we've checked out, like stuff that will
Chupacabra.
chupacabra, that will kill you.
Right.
I mean, even I'm not really chupacabra. That was about you just kicked that shit off. But but, but I mean, pretty much like that kind of stuff. Like cryptid wise,
Yeah.
Mothman is not cracking the face cards of my
Hmm.
deck, but
Okay.
it's the shit around it that's wild.
Right.
It's it's just nuts. Like it could be a terrifying cryptid if not only do you get Mothman, you get Men in Black and UFOs and like holy crap, if Mothman is like your starter kit for the weird shit, that's a terrifying cryptid.
Right, because I mean, with the Mothman, it's it's like, oh yeah, here's the Mothman, and you know what comes with it? Not just the
His
Mothman,
friends.
you also get paranormal activities. You get UFOs,
Yep.
and it also include the Men in Black. Here you go. It's like holy shit, you got all this shit going on
Yeah.
at once.
Yep. And emotional damage for years.
And also, as an added bonus, you get trauma.
Yeah, trauma. Oh man. No, it's not just the Mothman, it's just the friends he resides with.
Oh yeah, man.
That's
He's
the
he's got all
issue.
kind. He's got all kinds of people coming hanging out with him. You
But
know.
that's the part that's absolutely wild, but it, it sometimes it's hard to step back from like these like theories, right? It's hard to
Hmm.
step back and like look at these things with sort of a outsider's perspective,
Hmm.
you know, and what it could be, what you think they could have seen, what could be going on. The fact that there is the main thing throughout the story is this TNT plant that's slowly poisoning everyone, you know, but the inside effects don't include hallucinations. So if that's off the table, there's other shit. There's other shit. It doesn't have to be hallucinations.
Right.
Doesn't have to be hallucinations. We I brought it up last time. It causes cataracts and bad eyesight. It's like there's so many factors that play a part of it, and it could
Right.
all just be chalked up to a misidentification of something. Don't know what, but
But
then
something.
but then you have the accounts of the Men in Black showing up. Then it gets really weird.
Hmm.
Like when you start seeing government stuff start popping up around, it's like, whoa, this is notched up a level. That's the weird thing.
Hmm.
Or accounts of government men in black. Men in black. Sorry, not government. Men in black. Right? When you start getting those accounts, your threat level has ramped up to realistic.
Right. Right.
So but yeah, man, let's finish up. I'm sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent.
No, no, no. It's cool, man. We do what we got to do, man. I mean, hey, we started off with Walmart
Yeah.
killing, so
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. So anyway, so at 5:04 p.m. on December 16th, 1967, during rush hour, when the bridge was full of dozens of cars stuck in holiday traffic on the Silver Bridge, a low sound of metal began to twist and bend. Then, then from a low sound of metal twisting uh, to what some described as a loud metallic scream. So the metal again for backtracking from part one, every people were having all these dreams about disasters and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Now on December 16th, people are driving. It's it's rush hour traffic, 5 o'clock in the evening. December, it's probably dark by now, five. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
um,
100% dark.
right. So then you start hearing like you're on the bridge and you start hearing like noise, right? You start hearing some noise and then you're like,
Hmm.
what is that? And then it goes from like a slight little noise to I can't even describe what this noise would sound like because it has to be horrifying to just hear metal twisting.
I I feel like it would be a mix of a whale call and a the Jurassic Park T-Rex. Something in between that.
Or
Sonic
maybe like
and
both at
just
the same time.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, like a mix. Like it's the same fucking nuts. I couldn't imagine it, but okay, yeah, that's
So,
like fear unlocked. Yeah,
no, that's that. I mean, you're on the bridge. You're in the middle of the bridge. You start hearing that. I mean, at some point, you either have to be like, it's nothing, or you're like, this is it.
yeah. I mean, what else are you gonna fucking do?
Right.
Jump off?
So,
You're gonna go down anyway.
right. Yeah, yeah. There's nowhere to go. So, as the bridge began to, oh my God, this is the one thing that really got me too, is I was thinking like being on this bridge and this happening, or you not being on the bridge, but watching the bridge as this is happening, as be horrific. As the bridge began to twist counterclockwise, which was later described as a structural failure. Again, you're standing there on the side of the on one side of the bridge, and you just see this huge bridge twisting counterclockwise with the loud scream.
How?
So you're watching it, and it starts going.
Oh, it's twisting like
It's
the
twisting.
like
It's
fucking.
not like spinning around. It's literally the bridge is literally like Jesus Christ. It's literally like this, and then starts going like this, like like just
Holy
spit, like twisting. You
shit!
know, I mean,
Oh,
could you
see,
imagine that?
for me, I thought the bridge collapsing was just, we're from Maryland. We're used to bridges just you know, like
Yeah, it
that's
happens
just
all the time.
happens all the time. Uh, Jesus, but but yeah, I thought it just fell. Just
No, this
no.
this no, this fucker.
How does it?
It was like a little
Was it
sound,
was it like a
and then it.
suspension bridge? Did it have like
No, okay, so a bridge, it goes from one end to the other.
correct
Yeah, I
bridge?
think it had like these bars over top, right?
Okay,
It was that type of bridge.
okay,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, so you're watching this bridge, and it just starts to just buckle and twist counterclockwise. Crazy, scary. I hate bridges to begin with. I don't like bridges. That's just I don't like bridges.
Wow.
Um, so within minutes, the bridge and anyone unlucky enough to be on the bridge at that time fell into the Ohio River. 37 cars and anyone inside plunged into the freezing river below. The scene was chaotic, where witnesses said it seemed to be happening in slow motion, but so fast that there was nothing that they could do to stop it. There's Nobody was going to be able to stop it. It happened, and that was it. That was it. You know, um, some of the cars, when it hit the water, started to bob, but just for a minute or two, then slowly sank to the bottom of the river. 46 people died by the river water rushing in and drowning them, or by debris falling on them, crushing them inside, leaving them trapped in their car. 44 of the 46 bodies were recovered over the following weeks, but two of the bodies were never found. They
Wow.
were either completely crushed under the rubble from the bridge, or somehow maybe they floated downstream and ended up somewhere. But regardless, they were never found. So two bodies never
So
found.
so zero survivors from this.
Zero survived. Nobody survived.
No one survived the bridge collapse.
If you
Wow.
were on the bridge and you went down with the bridge,
You were dead.
you died.
Wow.
That was it.
Wow, man.
Nobody survived. Two bodies never found. They searched. They went downstream. Obviously the body's not going to go upstream.
How
The water's flowing one direction. They followed it down for I don't know how many miles. Never
how high
found
is that?
anything.
How high is that bridge? I want to
The
know.
height, I'm not exactly sure how high the bridge was.
Oh man.
Um, so, according to officials, the bridge had not been inspected in about 16 years prior to the collapse. The
Hmm.
official reports said that a defect in an eye-bar pin only a tenth of an inch deep is what caused the bridge to collapse, and it was so small that even the most observant inspector would have missed it. But what they said made the bridge collapse or attribute to it was the fact that the engineers didn't realize how many cars would actually be using the bridge in the years to come, or even all the weight of the cars at this time. Uh, so in 1928 to 1967, the average weight of cars had doubled.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can 100% see that, you know. But
Right. Because I mean, again, this is back then. You build your building structure for that time. No one's thinking, hey, in 10 years, there's instead of having 100 people cross a bridge in a day, we're going to have 1,000 people cross the bridge in a day. And that's not going to include the weight of a car. So a car might weigh, I don't know, 1,000 pounds, and in 10 years, cars are going to weigh, 10,000 pounds or some shit like that. I don't know,
yeah,
whatever. I don't know how
or
much
there's
cars
just
weigh
more
back then.
trucks.
Right,
Trucks
or
go
truck,
through it. Yeah,
exactly. The more trucks going over the bridge and stuff like
yeah.
that, they didn't
That
even account for it.
that
Which
makes sense.
again, it makes sense. It
Yeah.
makes sense. Um, but after the Silver Bridge collapse, this wasn't the last anyone would have an encounter with the Mothman. Which, again, reading this, I was like, "What the fuck?" I
Hmm.
thought that was it. So I need to point out that when the bridge did collapse, people did report seeing the Mothman before the bridge collapsed, and after the bridge collapsed, they saw the Mothman like fly away.
In the wreckage, in the whole thing,
Well, yeah, I guess like it was close by
watching.
from right.
Okay.
It was around there, which is pretty wild. Um, since 2017, Chicago and the surrounding areas has had its own sightings and encounters with the Mothman. Just as in Point Pleasant, the Chicago Mothman has been described as a 7 foot tall creature with wingspan of about 10 feet wide and glowing red eyes. And whenever it felt like it would also shoot up straight in the air, just like before, like in Point Pleasant.
Hmm.
People would see it and then and
No,
fly right
just
up into the air. And it wouldn't like flap its wings and go up. It just like stand there and just shoot up real quick.
hmm.
And at its height in March to July of 2017, there were witnesses that said they saw something that was definitely the Mothman, resembled the Mothman, or was some kind of a large flying creature. At times, some people thought the Mothman or whatever they saw was a thunderbird, or some type of thunderbird. So remember, the thunderbird was
Yeah.
Native American.
Yep.
I guess I guess now people were saying, is this a thunderbird that we're actually seeing?
This is when they're like, "Hey guys, it could be this."
Right, right.
You know what
Uh,
though? You know what? Just to piggyback on a quick point before I forget to say it. You
Not
know,
do it.
um, um, okay, look, check this out.
Hmm.
If it is a bird of prey, um, let's say it is a bird of prey or whatever experiment. Let's say it is a raptor of some kind, right?
Okay.
Right. Um, the bridge, the noise, right? Where it was, usually birds of prey hunt by rivers, like eagles and stuff perch by rivers. So that noise, all that commotion could have spooked it if it was a bird and it was just chilling on either a cliff or a rock looking over um the river, right? and
That's an interesting point.
and it could have just flown, especially if it's a night hunter. It could have just
Hmm.
flown off and people were like, whoa, what the fuck, it's 5 o'clock, why is there death eagle? you know and that could have been it too, or it could have been just a vulture at that moment. It's 5 o'clock, sun setting, shit's weird, they just saw a bridge fall into the fucking water and kill everyone on it. So it could have been a vulture, it could have been an eagle, could have been, there are eagles out there, you know
True, true. There is.
so and those
Hmm.
are massive too.
Hmm.
So it's like, it could have been anything. Could have gotten spooked and flew away. But I just wanted to point that out. If it was a bird, it definitely would be roosting in cliffs or trees near its area where its prey is, which is usually rivers and stuff like that, where it has.
Hey, no, but that's a good point. That's a good point. I never thought of that. That's true. If it was a bird of prey, but again, I don't think it's a bird of prey
Yeah.
only because no one's ever seen it. Like it's chased people, um, it's followed people, but it's never done any harm. It's never done any harm
Hmm.
to anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not to say it's a creature, and things have to eat, so it's probably hunting for. That's probably not going to eat people.
It's
So
probably
it's
too
probably
big. People are
hunting.
probably too big.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be. I mean, I mean, it's a 7 foot tall, 8 foot tall creature. So I mean, it's probably eating like I don't know, little baby deer or something.
Yeah, baby deer, dogs, shit like
Dogs,
that. Yeah,
dogs. Yeah,
goats,
yeah, no,
stuff like
goats.
that.
There
Yep.
was. I'm sure there's like farms and stuff like that. Probably wouldn't mind a couple chickens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so for those who aren't sure what a thunderbird is, a thunderbird is a powerful creature from Native American folklore, particularly prominent in the mythology of tribes in the Pacific Northwest, Plains, and Great Lake regions. Described as a massive bird with a wingspan so wide it can block out the sun. The thunderbird is said to control thunder, lightning, and storms. According to legend, every flap of its wings creates thunder, and lightning bolts shoot from its eyes. And that's where some people probably think, oh, it's got glowing red eyes. It's probably a thunderbird.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, so
Huh.
so many tribes view the Thunderbird as a guardian spirit with great strength and wisdom, often respecting a force of protection against malevolent entities. However, some stories also depict the Thunderbird as a potential dangerous being if disrespected or provoked. The Thunderbird can act as a punisher or avenger, unleashing destructive storms upon those who dishonor it or go against nature.
Hmm.
So yeah, the Thunderbird has been linked to mysterious large bird sightings in North America, including reports of Thunderbird sightings in the 19th and 20th centuries, where witnesses claim to see enormous bird-like creatures, some with wingspans of up to 20 feet.
That's
And these
nuts.
stories are often rooted in a mixed culture of mythology, regional folklore, and occasional cryptozoology speculation about unknown giant bird species as the Mothman is, right?
Yeah. I look. There is a an American condor that does exist.
Yeah.
You know.
Wait, is it extinct?
No, it
It's
was
still around?
highly. Yeah, it's highly endangered. It's like super endangered, but they exist.
What is it, like
Right.
five left?
Yeah, probably not even. But
That's
but yeah,
crazy,
those are
man.
those are huge, huge. Not I think they're a little bit smaller than the Andean condor, but
Mhm. Okay.
those things are massive,
Hmm.
right? So who's to say that there isn't some sort of Appalachian version of a condor out there? You know, that's flying super high up during the day, or maybe that's adapted to hunt at night. We don't know. I mean, is it in Chicago? No, that's its own fucking thing. That's what makes it more cryptid-ish. If it's like city shit,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
not that's not Appalachian country road John Denver shit. That's yeah, you're not doing that.
Right.
Um, but yeah, man, I don't know. I like the Thunderbird idea because big birds used to exist.
Of
Like
course.
that used to be a thing, and big owls, like you we were saying, did exist at one point.
Yeah.
All this shit existed. Um,
Well, again, because man moved in, took away their homes.
Habitat. Yep.
Right. Took away their habitat. They had much more area to expand, literally expand their wings. Much more bigger hunting grounds. They would,
Yeah.
go after the animals. Once we come in and start destroying all their home, their habitat,
Yeah.
they soon die out.
Yeah. I would love to know, like, so what date was that when the Chicago Mothman?
That's like recently, like 2017.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is like recent. This is the bridge collapsed. I mean, that's what happened. That was it. The bridge collapsed. Everyone died. You
And
know,
then it disappeared for a
and then
while.
it wasn't seen for a while, and then now there's like this uh, creature in Chicago, right? But we're gonna get into that too more, a little bit more,
Yeah.
because it's kind of interesting where they spot this creature at.
Okay.
Um, so sometimes people would also assume the Mothman uh, with other folklore, other cryptid folklore, another creature that was called the lechuza. And the lechuza is a supernatural figure rooted in Mexican and Texan folklore, described as a shape shifting witch who can transform into a massive owl or a woman owl hybrid. She's known for its eerie, haunting presence, especially at night, because remember, we always see this thing at night,
Hmm.
typically depicted with an owl's body but an unsettling human face. The creature is said to have wingspans reaching up to 7 feet, making it a formidable sight if encountered. The legend often involves a woman, possibly a witch, who was wronged or suffered a tragic death and returns as La Lechuza seeking revenge. There are various stories about why she becomes this creature, such as betrayal by a lover or harm caused by her family, which drives her spirit to seek retribution. So some people think that it's a cryptid
That's a
La
witch.
Lechuza because it looks like an owl with the face of a lady. That's
Huh.
just theory. That's not,
Well, yeah. Yeah.
we're gonna probably put that in the bullshit pile. So
Yeah. I mean that would make fucking dude. I would make if I saw a bird thing creature and it had a human face, bro. I would
I think I'd
dedicate
lose my
my
shit.
I would dedicate my life to hunting that thing forever. I
Yeah,
would become I would become the fucking Van Pelt to that fucking thing's.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
become that guy from Jumanji. Like I need a bigger gun.
That's one that was another theory. So one theory was
Okay.
the Thunderbird, because obviously it's just
Yeah.
a huge fucking bird. Or some say it might have been this cryptid, this Lachusa, uh, you know, but who knows? But what they all had in common was anyone who came in contact or had encounters with these creatures said the same thing. They all had a feeling of dread or foreboding, like they just had a feeling that something bad was going to happen. But the most interesting part of the Chicago Mothman was that most of the sightings occurred at or around Chicago's O'Hare Airport, which is one of the busiest airports in the world.
Oh, okay. What? So it happened around the. Then did it show up on radar? If it was that big, like
um, I don't think it flew high enough.
uh uh. But okay, so they only saw this thing at the airport.
It was around the airport. Okay, so but if that wasn't strange enough, it seems like the higher ups or the big wigs who worked at O'Hare Airport knew about this Mothman creature thing. On November 26th, 2019, which isn't that long ago,
No. Uh huh.
6:30 p.m., a truck driver just having a smoke right outside of a cargo bay at O'Hare said he saw what he thought at first was a 7 foot tall bird just beyond the perimeter fence, about two street lamps away from him. He said it looked like a person at first, with wings all stretched out, flapping around. And after the creature walked away from the fence, it flapped its wings and flew up and disappeared into the sky. Then he realized it obviously wasn't a fucking person; it was some creature. But what's weird is the Mothman from Point Pleasant didn't flap its wings; it just went up into the sky.
Okay. I feel like I feel like the people in Point Pleasant were mortified, you know. Like hear me out on this.
Gotcha.
It's 19 something.
Yeah.
19 something, you're not desensitized, monsters really aren't in your face all the time, right?
Right.
Um like it could be drawing and you might overlook some details. If that shit just happened in front of you, you're like the feeling of dread. Yeah, I would call that a feeling of dread. If I saw that, I would be the same way. Feeling of dread? No, I was scared shitless. That's a big man bear pig thing, bird. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
front of me.
Because I mean, what if it does become? I mean, because nobody knows if it's friendly or not. What if it is? What if it's not friendly and it decides to attack you?
Yeah,
What are you gonna do?
yeah.
You ain't gonna do
That's
shit.
that's dread right there. That's
Yeah.
dread. So that's a whack way to describe the feeling. Seeing a bird pretty much that could size you up. Um, and then you know your mind is trying to make sense of it,
Mm-hmm.
and in that process you're not moving, you're in shock because you're like what the does not compute.
Oh, no, you're definitely what the
It's just
fuck.
like what is going on, right? So you're going to probably miss a couple things. You're probably going to miss a couple things. And I definitely think flapping its wings is going to be one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like that's one of those missed things, because by the time your mind wraps what it's trying to capture,
Mm-hmm.
shit, you're just seeing legs.
Ah,
It's pretty much gone.
yeah.
And I think this dude in 2019 probably has the best description of it so far. Because he was far enough away where he doesn't have that dread. He's like, what is that? That's huge. And he can properly observe it. He can properly observe it by still kind of sort of feeling safe away
Mm-hmm.
from it.
Yeah.
Away from it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that's huge. What the fuck is that? That's not an eagle. That's not it looks like a guy with wings. What the hell is that? So
Right.
he probably nailed it on that description. And that's probably the most accurate. Even though he wasn't close, he probably couldn't get a description. He definitely got the action of it correct.
Right. Right. I'm with you on that, man. Definitely. Um. Yeah. I mean, they would scare the shit out of me anyway. Fucking thing hopping around.
Yeah.
So the truck driver said the wingspan was about 6 feet across, not 10 like other people had said, and he guessed it was about 7 feet tall because the fence that the creature was next to was about 8, and the skin color wasn't like a flesh or gray color. The trucker said he was black and he never saw the glowing red eyes that had been associated with the Mothman, and it's probably due to the fact that the creature never really faced him. So it was probably like from the side, maybe the back, and he was kind of like moving around or whatever. And the guy never really got a good, clear look at the front of him. So
Wow.
he says he didn't really see if it had red eyes or not. Um, like most, or yeah, like most of the
Yeah.
cases of the Mothman, right? A couple weeks later, at about 10 p.m., a man named, of all people, named Daniel, said he was on his way to a bar by O'Hare to meet up with some friends. As he was driving, he said he saw a 7 foot tall creature with wings. The creature had glowing red eyes and again was standing by a fence. And Daniel said he felt an evil presence. And this went on for about 2 years. And more people had reported sightings of the Mothman, or or whatever this creature is, at or near O'Hare Airport. In July of 2021, 3 people who were getting off work at a new United Airline cargo facility said they saw something about 25 yards away. And this one right here is interesting. So these people are getting off of work,
Hmm.
and about 25 yards away, they saw something was moving around on the other side of a security fence. All three saw it and pointed it towards it. But just as they noticed, uh, Just as they noticed it, a white SUV came flying by on the scene with flashing lights. Two men jumped out and flashed their lights towards the creature. The creature turned around and started to walk away. It was 7 foot tall and glowing red eyes. Just then, another SUV came down and shined its lights on the creature, giving anyone close by a very good look at what this thing was.
Hmm.
Right? Um, just as suddenly as the creature took off, more SUVs showed up, both marked and unmarked, and a TSA vehicle showed up and told anyone standing around to leave the area immediately as they drove away. Okay, sorry, I messed up. But they told the TSA vehicle and these all these other vehicles that showed up, all these SUVs that showed up, and told people to get the fuck out of here, go
Yeah.
away, leave now. They closed off the area, and they said the three people said as they drove away, they could see more and more vehicles that were unmarked and marked start to show up. They know who or like where these people came from. Again,
Huh.
people apparently the higher ups at the airport know about this thing.
Hmm. Dude, they must have tagged it. They must have tagged it, dude.
They know it. They know what it is.
Yeah, they know what it is, or they must have got a tag in it, a GPS tracker on it, tranked it, put a ring on its foot or something. Because for real though, like that's too quick. That's too quick. They got to know its moves, and
Yeah.
it has to be allowed to operate in this area. Or if it is a bird, a
Hmm.
predatory bird, which is what I'm sort of leaning towards, like a maybe a long lost bird that was experimented on that we try to bring back from effing extinction or whatever. You know how we always try to do. We always meddle in shit, right?
Right.
Um, then there would be
Right.
plumage. There would be
Feather.
plumage,
Uh huh.
feathers, a bird track. I know that sounds stupid, and they're not really, respectively, they're not that heavy to leave a bird track, right? But a 7 foot one, you would
I was
assume,
getting ready to say they're, unless it was like a smaller bird, but yeah, like you said, 7 foot tall creature. I mean,
yeah,
how big is an ostrich? They leave tracks.
yeah, yeah. I mean, do eagles leave tracks when they just chill on the beach or on the river, like bank, the what is it called? River, the shore of
Uh,
a river,
yeah,
yeah, the
the
bank.
short.
It's a
Yeah,
river
I'm
bank.
sure they do.
Yeah, they
Well,
have to.
no, actually, you know what? And if you say that, I've seen footprints of birds
Yeah,
that were smaller than eagles left in sand and in dirt.
yeah,
When we used to go down by the river or by the creek and stuff like that, you'd see like
yeah,
little footprints of birds that were. So yeah, I definitely would have left footprints.
yeah. So I'm wondering. The response time is shocking. You know, if
That
it
that's what gets me.
let's take their word for it. Let's, if we can take their word on what they saw, then that means the government is actively tracking, actively aware, and needs to know where this thing is because of the planes flying in and out. It
Hmm.
poses a threat to air traffic if it is that big. So that's
That's very true.
interesting.
That's very true. Because something that big hitting a plane
Yeah.
is, I mean, yeah, it's not a it's bad news for the plane and anybody on board.
I mean, and if it is, let's say it is like a extinct species, because it can be an extinct species with animals left alive. You know that, right? Like
Hmm.
if the population is so small that their numbers just can't ever bounce back. Like the DNA pool of the
Mhm.
species is so small, there is no way this thing that like you're only a couple generations out of this thing just
Yeah, it's only gonna last for another like maybe 10
yeah
years.
yeah yeah like no matter how many because you're going to be basically inbreeding that gene pool and
Right.
that is going to
And
break apart.
that'll kill it
Yeah,
all off anyway.
it'll yeah, that's what happened to the mammoths on that island, I think near Alaska, that were alive during the Egyptians. There
Oh,
were
really?
yeah, they were actually alive during the Egyptians, which is
Huh.
nuts.
That's pretty
So,
cool.
um,
Interesting fact for everybody who didn't
yeah,
know
man,
that.
yeah, man.
Maybe the mammoth helped build the pyramids.
I mean, it could have totally happened. You know, it could have totally happened. Doubt it,
Changed my mind.
like completely doubt it, but could have happened. But the
I mean, if they
mammoths
were there,
the mammoths at that time were so jacked up because of the inbreeding of that island. There was no hope for them. They basically their DNA was basically like
it was all just jacked up.
splayed. It was
Ooh,
splayed at that point. It wasn't
Jesus.
even held together. Um, but yeah, man, no, I feel like if it is a bird of prey, if it is a species like that, I'm glad that we don't know about it. If it is that, because once you spotlight something like that, there's gonna be crazy ass people trying to kill it, trying to hunt it,
Oh my
trying to
God. Yeah.
there's gonna be
Always is.
dumbasses out there.
There always is.
There always is. Like that dude from Rescuers Down Under, that kills
McLeach.
McLeach, man. He's always a McLeach.
That fucking movie,
Always.
man.
Always. And yeah, yeah, it could be it could be that. It could be that eagle. No, but my I just I don't see the cryptid side of it. I think it's creepy. I think it's a massive either owl. I I don't see it being. I don't see. Okay, here's another question. If
Uh-huh.
it's the harbinger of doom,
Uh-huh.
right? Um, what happened in the airport? Has anything
Well,
happened in that
not
airport?
that's the thing. Like nothing's happened. Uh so yeah, no, I mean nothing's happened. Do attribute nothing's been attributed to um what you call it
Huh?
to the Mothman. Oh, and another fact that I didn't write down, but I remember the Mothman is it's called a Mothman, but it's not. It doesn't look like a moth. People
Yeah,
think like, oh, it's a Mothman, like it's a moth. It's not a moth. It's just a
that's just a nickname.
it's just a nickname. It's for all intents and purposes, it's a humanoid with wings.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
as tall as it's got like almost like the build of a man with wings, but no arms.
Like imagine a human fruit bat.
Well, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
You know, kind of like that.
yeah,
You know,
kind of like that.
it could. You know what? Could be that too.
A
Could be
giant fruit bat.
kind of one of those. Maybe some of those. Because hey, you know what though, bro? Hold on. You know what? Okay. You okay. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about this bat bomb that they made during World War II?
What is it?
Prior to the bat bomb.
Bat bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Uh-uh.
strapped a bunch of napalm to little bats.
What? No. Tell me
Yeah.
more.
Bro, okay. Oh my god, this is nuts. It's because it's pretty much effective. We're about to go on a side quest, everyone. Get ready, strap in. Most people that watch this channel probably know where this story is and have heard this story, but 100% factual, dude. During kind of the later years of World War II, they were looking for a cheap way to do incendiary bombs, right? And
Uh-huh.
there's this farmer in Pennsylvania that absolutely hated bats, and he was like, you know what?
Okay.
let's use bats, put napalm on it, because and drop that in over in Japan. Japan's houses are made of wood, primarily made of wood. You drop the bats out of the plane at a certain altitude, the bomb opens. The bats during the time they were going to drop it go to roost in the buildings, and the timers on the little napalm canisters that they were carrying explode, and it'll catch fire, and it'll be very successful. And it worked. The fucking thing worked.
Really?
But yeah, oh, it fucking worked. Yeah. You know,
That's
the
insane.
fire bombing in the fire bombing in Japan during World War II was more deadly than the I think more deadly than the nuclear bombs drop
What? No way.
because of yeah, per like loss of life. Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, dude. It's an insane success rate for fire bombs. It's nuts. The fire bombing
But that's
worked.
got to be. I mean, that's got to be a shit ton of bats.
Oh yeah, no. It didn't. So it didn't get off the ground because the Manhattan Project beat it.
Oh man. Oh man.
But it was
Isn't that funny
already.
how all these things seem to like intertwine with each other?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, man. It's
Oh,
crazy. I have to send you that video. It's nuts. It's absolutely crazy. But you know what? I was thinking during that time that I would love to know where that testing facility was, because I knew the dude was up in PA,
really?
right? And that testing thing was probably sanctioned around either, up here near Fort. What do we have up here?
No. Do you think it's over by in Baltimore? They have what's it called? The Aberdeen Proving Grounds, where they
Probably.
actually still
Yes.
test artillery.
I bet you it was. I bet you it could have been developed in Aberdeen. I bet you it was. So then if they're looking at the types of bats, right, that could carry said payload, why not a fruit bat?
Huh.
I just it was just a crazy sidetrack thought because I'm thinking of the timing of the thing.
Yeah. No.
And
I mean,
fruit
that's
and
crazy. No, that's actually pretty freaking
fruit bats are
cool.
huge. Fruit
No.
bats
Yeah.
are massive.
They're. Yeah. I don't think people realize how big these things are. They're
No, bro.
big. They're
No, bro.
terrifying, but
Yeah.
they eat fruit.
I think they have a wingspan of like 5 feet, something like that.
Yeah,
Something
actually, I think it's
huge.
like 6 feet or something like that.
Yeah.
They're insanely big, dude. They're huge.
Yes. Yes.
They're
So
like the size of like a cat.
and their eyes are red.
Yes, their eyes are very red.
Yeah. So, I'm just saying, you gotta. I feel like we have to make leaps and bounds of seeing what culprits could possibly realistically fit the profile of shit that's weird. But I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
if it's a bat, bro, it's a bat, and you say, "Holy shit, that was a big bat," you
dude.
know. But a fruit bat looks like a a pretty small dude. I mean, not six
Person.
foot, 7 foot person with no arms.
I mean, well, no, yeah, because look. I mean, bats. They have
Mhm.
wings, but they and technically they have arms. But when they spread their wings, that's their arms,
Yeah,
And they just kind of waddle around when they walk.
yeah. I
That's
just,
crazy, man.
I'm just thinking it could have been. I'm just trying to think because we have to clear up cases of like misidentity.
Hmm.
Like what could it have been? I'm not saying it's not a cryptid. I'm definitely not saying it's not. Like you said in the beginning of this series, fuck, the Komodo dragon was a cryptid. The platypus was a cryptid.
Right,
I'm not saying this thing isn't a cryptid,
right.
or unexplained or undiscovered species, right? I'm just saying there are some similarities to things that exist that have existed um previously in this country. So
Yes, yes.
And the fact that it didn't bring any doom, I feel like that's a whole different Mothman. That's a whole different lineage. That's a whole different. I don't know. I think that might be a whole different. That might. I would say that's a Thunderbird case, not a Mothman case.
So, well, okay. So do you think that there is no Mothman? Do you think it's just Thunderbird?
No,
All these sightings are. Is it
I,
a Thunderbird?
I don't think so. I think there's. I see the Thunderbird. I could see as more of like an eagle type, eagle condor type, like a big fucking thing. But I've also heard Thunderbirds described as like fucking pterodactyls, which don't know where that came from. I've heard that too.
I've heard that pterodactyl type creature was living in what, the
New
Grand
Guinea.
Canyon or something like that.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah, within the Grand Canyon, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, but like in the early what 20s, 30s or something like that.
yeah. Like, could you imagine? Like, there's shit like that out there, and that's you
No,
know
that's crazy.
you know
Yeah.
there's so many things out there that are so feasible. And there's so many stuff that we don't know. And I think that the Mothman is exclusive to its range.
Hmm.
I think it's exclusive to its Appalachia, um, Shenandoah, that mountain range. That
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's exclusively those mountains. I don't see it doing transcontinental flight, whereas that's like more Thunderbird territory. Like where if the legend of the Thunderbird was like the predator of the Great Plains, right?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't think it's going. I don't think it's making a big trek from like West Virginia to Arizona or just some shit like that.
Yeah,
I don't think it's doing
yeah.
that. I usually
I just
I tend to think that a lot of these uh, cryptids or creatures usually stay in their like little area. They
mhm.
have like their little area that they stay in.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily see it being like one of those fucking mega owls, and I could see it being too. Like this harps back to it could possibly be like a government ish test, and the government for okay, so owls are they're like pairing birds,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? So they have to have a mate in order to live a long life,
Right.
right? So if you were to test on owls, you would have to do two of them, male and female, and they would have to be paired together. So let's say Jim didn't lock the cage on the owl monster exhibit, and those two things got fucking out. Then guess what? Mothman,
Right.
two different places at the same time, and that
Right.
that could explain two different colors
Right.
because usually depending on whatever, it's males are lighter or females are darker, something like that. Um, and yeah, the eyes do the fucking refraction thing. I don't know if
That's yeah. That's
I
pretty.
don't.
That's interesting itself.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sure eagles do that, but eagles aren't nocturnal though. Owls are.
No.
So, their eyes will glow as well. So, you know,
Yeah.
there's so many things it could be. But anyway, man. Anyway, that's just a bunch of Jack Hanna right there. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. What was the guy's name? Jack Corwin? Jeff Corwin?
Jeff Corwin. Yeah.
Jeff Corwin, man. He was my favorite out of
He
all
was
of them.
not. I liked him though. He was cool.
It was funny.
Shout out to Jeff Corwin.
Yeah, man.
I know he's listening.
Yep. Yep.
Motherfucker. But yeah, so O'Hare Airport, that's where the Mothman
Yep.
last sighting, and yeah, that was the last time I believe that anyone had seen the Mothman
Hmm.
or this creature with wings.
Oh.
there is some there was a I guess somebody was saying how they wanted to call it the Batman or a Batman, but they didn't want to because of Batman.
Mm, yeah,
So they chose the next best thing, I guess, and just started
Mothman.
calling it Mothman, which stuck, and people think call it
It's
Mothman. It's not a Mothman. It's
it's
not a
the
moth.
worst fucking name.
Yeah, it's terrible. But
Yeah,
whatever.
they got to sell the big zapper lights. You know those big blue ones
Yeah,
out there. Um, what do you think, man? What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
I
Like,
don't think it's a cryptid. Honestly, at one time I was thinking like, oh, it's a cryptid. I kind of fell into the thing where everybody was like, oh, these are cryptids, and Mothman always comes up as a cryptid, and I don't believe it's a cryptid. I think it's just some creature, uh, a government experiment that did go wrong and somehow got out,
mhm.
and now it's just roaming around,
Di- didn't
wherever it finds safety.
didn't Mothman make it across the Atlantic though? Didn't we hear that there was a Mothman sighting
Yeah,
in
oh man,
Europe?
yeah, I think I did hear that there was a Mothman in Europe, a
Because if
sighting,
there,
a
because because that's huge. If if that's credible, granted, I mean you could say that about any of these sightings here,
yeah.
right?
Which one is credible though?
Yeah, but let's say if you take that, let's say if you take it like credible, right?
Uh
That
huh.
means it was trapped, it was caged, it was transported, it was released.
Right.
Or it fucking flew. I doubt it flew that far.
How far do birds fly? Some birds fly pretty far, don't they?
Well, it depends. I mean, what kind of bird they are. I mean, albatross, they fly fucking forever. I
Right.
forgot.
But I mean, this Mothman. Well, okay. Granted, I'm sure planes flying see albatrosses every once in a while.
Hmm.
Um, a creature that big flying, somebody has got to see it.
Yeah.
So I would have to go with it was caught, tagged, and they what do you call it? They
So, oh my god. So, okay, get this. According to Google, oh my god, bro, I can't believe this. I cannot believe this, bro.
breaking news, guys. This is it. You're hearing it here first.
All right, ready? This is staggering. This is not on a Snapple cap. This is nuts. Albatrosses can fly up to 49,700 miles without landing.
What?
Yep.
That's insane.
A wandering albatross can fly 10,000 miles without flapping its wings.
10,000. Wait. So
Yep.
this thing can glide, just fly
Yep. On the
on the air
currents and shit. Yeah.
without flapping its wings,
Yep.
so it doesn't get tired for 10,000 miles. Holy hell!
Wow, bro. A wandering albatross can travel up to 560 miles a day at a speed up to 25 miles an hour. That's a wandering albatross. Um, there's different, I guess there's different types. There's a Lasian albatross.
25
That's
miles an hour. That's not fast at all.
no, they're just chilling. They're just the
What
gliders
dumb.
of the sky.
That's wow. That's pretty amazing.
That's nuts, man. That's nuts, man. That's absolutely crazy. So
Wow.
yes, and those. I mean, just for instance, like the wingspan of an albatross. That's just for shits and giggles. Wingspan, right?
Check out. Wait before you tell us the wingspan of an albatross. Check out the wingspan of a fruit bat.
Okay.
Is it a fruit bat or a fox bat?
It would be a
Because aren't they the
flying
same?
no
Are
no
they
no
the
flying
same?
flying fox is what they're called, but fruit bat same thing.
Okay, so same thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
The flying foxes are
wingspan,
scary big, scary fucking big.
Wingspan of a flying fox. Yeah, over 6 feet.
Wow, man,
Over
6 feet.
Over 6 feet. Yep.
So it's possible that one of those bats could be have a wingspan of about 8 feet.
Yep. Yep. And it weighs 2.4 pounds. But still.
That's not heavy at all, but it still can leave footprints in the ground.
Yeah.
2 pounds.
Yeah, man. That's nuts. 6 feet, bro.
Oh man.
I mean, it looks like fucking Dobby had a bad hair day. It's like a Dobby from hell.
Oh,
That's what a fruit bat looks like.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's nightmare shit.
Fuck
Wingspan
yeah.
of an albatross, guys, is 9.8 feet.
Oh wow. So an albatross's wingspan is larger.
It's massive.
Wow. So his wingspan could be 10.
Yeah,
Could possibly.
yeah, could possibly be 10. Yeah,
Wow.
that's huge. That's a big bird right
I
there,
didn't
dude.
know that it would get that big. I didn't know it was that wide.
I mean, it's the size of a fucking glider, bro. Like,
That's insane.
I mean, god
That is
damn.
insane.
That's probably why it doesn't land, right? Because it's just so big. How do you flap those fucking wings to get
No,
up
but
airborne?
don't they crash? Don't
Yeah,
they crash land?
yeah. According to Little
Rescuers
Mermaid.
down under?
Oh yeah, and also yeah, yeah. Rescuers Down Under. That's the dude, right? He just boom 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 boom. He just fucking tumbles. That was an
Yeah, according to
albatross. Yep,
rescuers, that's where I get all my information is
yeah,
fucking
yep.
Disney movies.
We've referenced that multiple times, which is nuts to have a dual purpose Rescuers Down Under reference.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god.
Ah,
But yeah, yeah, no, it could be anything. I think it's one of those. I think it's an animal. I think it's a bird, um, misidentified, or you know, the fact that the town went into batshit crazy mode
uh-huh.
definitely makes it lean more towards government, like illegal government animal testing
Uh-huh. Yeah.
experiment.
Oh, I'm more on board with the illegal testing of an animal.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
thinking of.
yeah,
And it got away from them and they're pissed off because it did.
yeah,
Uh, you
yeah.
know,
So
if you go to O'Hare Airport and they already know what's going on over there, like something's up,
yeah, they already know what the fuck's
something's
going
up.
on. So, but yeah, man, no, that's nuts, man. This whole story just added a whole nother layer to this because the whole time I'm thinking it's like this fucking 10-foot moth that has a lifespan of like 12 hours before it fucking
Right?
dies,
Yeah.
and it's just it's
Yeah.
there
It's
to
not even a moth. It's not even.
not even a
It doesn't
moth,
even look like a moth.
not even an insect. It's more of a fucking bird or something.
Well, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but they do have a statue of the
Yeah,
Mothman in Point Pleasant, and it kind of looks like a moth,
yeah, which is wrong.
right?
But
And
yeah,
and and Point Pleasant does have like um pretty much it's kind of like Roswell, where the town's kind of set up and it has little Mothman stuff
yeah,
all over the place. You
yeah.
know, they have like a
Mothman,
Mothman cafe,
Mothman,
little.
Mothman drives the sales, the
Yeah,
merchandise.
yeah. And I honestly want to go there just for that. I really want to go there. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to make a trip. We have to make a trip, man. We got to do something like that.
Yeah, we have to at least once get out, get the channel outside.
Yeah.
Right.
Um.
Hold on. Is it Point Pleasant, right?
Yeah.
Point
I'm guessing it's
Pleasant,
about 45 minutes.
Point Pleasant, um, West Virginia. Right. 12. All right. Mm, okay. No, there's another. I just wanted to check something here
Mhm. Yeah.
because it reminds me a lot of like the weirdness and the oddities reminds me a lot of Mount Shasta, right? Um,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and it has like this little activity hub of just hyperactivity in this little small condensed area. Well, not small, but to this area. It's
Hmm.
weird. And and one of the outlying factors of Mount Shasta is like it's all granite or quartz. It's one of those things. One of those things. But um the geology around Point Pleasant, West Virginia is not that. Does not share Mount Shasta's geological makeup. So, that's that's what I was checking out. Cuz they say a lot of weird shit happens around I forgot now. I think
Mount
it
Shasta. Mount
yeah, but
Shasta has a lot of weird shit. A lot of
but I
happening.
I think it is I want to say quartz or granite. One of those two types of rocks. Um these mountains that a lot of these people go missing in, they usually find pieces of clothing or the trail ends when these people have to traverse through these areas that are full of like quartz and granite. And it's just weird. It's just a weird outlying thing that is very common.
Hmm.
So,
Interesting.
yeah. Anyway, that's for another episode.
Ah, that's pretty cool though. I mean, yeah. I mean, segue, I guess.
Yep. Yep.
Oh man, interesting. But that's pretty much the story of Mothman. That we did tell some of the backstory. Was for those of you that didn't know. I didn't know. I learned a lot from just looking all this stuff up.
Yeah, man.
Um, so is Point Pleasant cursed?
I would say yes. Anytime you have to call a place pleasant, it's not pleasant. You
You
brought
have
that
to
up on
call it
yourself.
pleasant even when it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's of course it's cursed.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's a little bit of a curse there. But I'll go visit. I'm not gonna. I don't want to live there.
No. No. Not at all.
But hey, Daniel, thanks for joining
Yeah.
me. I appreciate it. You guys listening, watching, thank you for joining us. Again, remember if you like what's going on, throw us a comment. Send us a comment. Let us know what's up. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
Yep.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell
Er-
everybody.
Everybody.
Just go and randomly just take somebody's phone and
Yep.
put subscribe on it. We don't give a shit.
Yep.
Every little bit helps. We appreciate everything. Yeah, like I said, every little bit helps. Thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, we're going to try to have more guys join us for these little topics. I think it makes it a little more interesting.
Little topics.
And
Bro, we've been talking for like 2 hours. I'm kidding. Tiny little TED Talks of ours.
little TED Talks that we got on creatures of, made up shit that people see. Yeah. No, I liked it. I thought it was interesting. Again, they had a lot of, there was a lot of things going on with the
It
Mothman
was
too.
busy, bro. It was busy. It was a
There's
busy
a lot.
story.
There's a lot of stuff going on with this. The Mothman's there, and there's like it's not just the Mothman. You got UFOs, you got the MIB, you got paranormal ghosts,
It's
things that are just walking around in the woods out there. Who knows, man? It's all kinds of stuff.
it's
Werewolves,
nuts.
vampires. I don't know.
Yeah. 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 But
Yeah,
dude, I can't wait. Next episode, Jingleheimer Schmidt. Why is he? Why is his name my name too? We're gonna get
that's
down.
the question. That is the
We're gonna
question
get
we're
down
going
to
to
the
try to figure
bottom
out.
of it.
And thanks, Dan, for joining us. Thank
Yeah,
you
man.
guys for tuning in and sticking with us through this whole episode.
Yep.
And until next time, everybody, peace.
Later.
In a world of shadows and hidden truths, we search for answers, we chase the clues. Yeah, a podcast of enigma.